All coincidences with real people are random. If they tell you that this is not the case, ignore them. Jack, an experienced military surgeon, frowned over the lifeless body of a space marine in the operating room of the Spaceship Star Trailblazer. Next to him, his assistant was bustling around, pale and worried. A recent mission, another jump through star systems, turned into a tragedy. The Marine, a tough guy named Raymond, shouldn't have died. Yes, he had lacerations and fractures sustained during a skirmish with a hostile alien race on the planet PS-1418K. But the wounds were not fatal. Something else caused his untimely death. "Something's wrong," Jack muttered, frowning. At that moment, a shrill roar of alarm echoed through the ship. The red lights flashed, and the command flashed through the compartments. "Everyone gather in the main compartment, immediately." The crew, panic-stricken, rushed to the central hall. There, on the command bridge, they were met by the pale-faced Deputy Captain Aaron Blade. "Sensors have detected a deadly toxin in the living quarters," he shouted hoarsely. Roll call showed that 3 crew members, technicians, and an engineer working on the lower levels are missing. The panic increased. Something ominous was happening on the Star Trekker. The ship's security system worked smoothly, neutralizing the toxin. But this did not reduce the fear and tension. Jack couldn't help but think about Raymond. His death seemed unnatural, as if he had been the victim of something more sinister than simple wounds. Meanwhile, unexplained events began to occur on the ship. People were missing, and there were more and more bloody footprints on the walls of the corridors. Jack and Aaron joined forces to investigate. They found the missing engineer, but his appearance horrified them. The scarred and mutilated body, in which there was barely a glimmer of life, did not resemble the man he had been an hour ago. A semblance of consciousness flashed in his eyes for a moment, and he whispered, "Kill me." Before he knew it, he fell into a state of insanity and tried to attack Jack and Aaron. Aaron, shooting in cold blood, complied with his request. "Something is happening to them," Jack muttered, looking at the lifeless body of the engineer. "They're infected with something." Jack, analyzing what he saw, put forward a terrible theory. The pain inflicted by himself suppresses the influence of this infection for a short time, restoring their sanity. There were 2 others on the ship whose minds had been captured by a sinister force. Jack and Aaron, risking their lives, continued their search. But they were unlucky. Aaron, defending Jack, was fatally shot in the head. Left alone, Jack, filled with rage and despair, broke through to the escape pods. In the final battle with the infected technician, he won, but at the cost of great effort. And so Jack, exhausted and wounded, but alive, takes off in a rescue capsule, leaving the Star Trekker in a self-destruct orbit. Glancing at his hand, where the scratch left by the technician was, he involuntarily shuddered. Really, a chilling phrase flashed through my head. Unfortunately, those were the last words Jack spoke. No one else saw him.